Shalom. Upristi Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Harakakadash. The abundance of the elder apostles, great most son, rule well, and shalom to the brothers and wives considering truth. You got this article here kind of going over Palantir, and really its focus, its objective, which is chiefly to be, part of that infrastructure of the beast system that allows for great you know control over what control over what do you call it, what the masses can do and how they function on a day to day, and how they have to integrate within that system they're building, man. Because by and large, it's the average peon is thinking this current setup where you have chaos running rampant and confusion abounding. They think it's just going to continue as this. They don't know that it's these things that are being established are going to become the standard. That's how you're going to have to function and operate within the system. Because this is on the Daily Beast. So that says Peter Thiel's AI Palantir is supercharging Trump's lawfare. Says the software company founded by billionaire Peter Thiel has enabled his buddy President Donald Trump to conduct hardcore AI lawfare against beyond its previous bounds. Those bounds appear to now include the Federal Reserve Board after Trump told its governor, Lisa Cook, she was fired earlier this week. The hit was achieved with the contrivance of an ever-striving 37-year-old Nepo baby with a heretofore forgettable name. He is Bill Pulte, who seized a chance to make a mark for himself when President Trump appointed him to the usually low-profile position of Director of Federal Housing Finance Agency. Pulte took his first big step towards becoming his own man back in May when he announced he'd entered into a partnership with Thiel's Palantir to establish an AI-powered crime detection unit. And yeah, that's the thing is the average person's kind of looking at AI as like, you can use it to make, some funny memes. Like you can make a cat, walk around like it's a person in a video, or you can use it to cheat on your homework. That's what the average person's thinking about. You using it for kind of innocuously, but then with like the elite, they're using it as far as to replace the need for people altogether. So you'd have like, rather than police, you have you have some drones, some little drones with guns on them, flying around. The AI will detect, okay, there's gonna be a disturbance at like what's it called? Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Like Minority Report, you're just gonna have it, pre-crime, or even before you do anything. These guys just come and blow your head out. Well, I said there wouldn't be police. It would just be some AI, just some AI robot just come and it's like, you are under arrest. These are the things that the elite want to do. They want to use it as a form of the spirit for them. They want to use it basically as a substitute for the Most High, and then they can slot themselves in and fulfill that. So it says, in a jumble of acronyms, the newly formed CDU could immediately start work at the Federal National Mortgage Association, which the FHFA oversees, along with a sibling, the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation. No one is above the law, Pulte dramatically declared at a press conference, as if his liege Trump does not routinely act otherwise. Pulte continued, in partnership with Palantir, Fannie Mae's crime detection unit will increase safety and soundness by rooting out bad actors in our housing system. The cutting-edge AI technology will help us find criminals who try to defraud our system. And yeah, that's the thing as well, is like a big part of this AI is requiring information, and then that information being processed, and that's a big push you've seen where it's normalizing further and further. Like, oh, okay, you're gonna have to put in your ID to do this. You're gonna have to put in certain information to do this. For you to interact with certain systems, then you need to have your ID, and if you're an adult, prove you're an adult with this, and then okay, then they can build profiles, and that's the thing is been using all this information to make profiles for a while, but now it's pushing towards that completeness. It says by integrating this leading AI technology, we will look across millions of data sets to detect patterns that were previously undetectable, Almodovar said. This new partnership will combat mortgage fraud, helping to safeguard the US mortgage market for lenders, home buyers, and taxpayers. And it's something always presented as it's being done for the greater good. It's being done for your benefit. It's been done for you. Your life will get better because of it. But naturally, it's for the elite. These things work. The amount of money going into AI development is billions upon billions. It's one of those things. It's just like the military industrial complex. They say, oh, we're protecting, freedoms, rights, whatever's of the world. But it's about the interests of those who are, funding and paying for those things. So this is Palantir co-founder and current CEO Alex Karp predicted this partnership with Fannie Mae will set off a revolution in how we combat mortgage fraud in this country. So yeah, they're saying the mortgage fraud is developing, but that's the thing, it's just one area. And then with these things, they apply it in one area and it will expand out. Like they said, this guy was in housing, and now it's related to AI powered crime detection. And then that's general. That's gonna apply out to everyone. That's gonna go to, and you already have with as far as when it comes to the crime, you have Trump saying, oh, the in DC, because of the increased crime rate, because of the crime wave, he's having to bring in the troops. So then National Guard showing up, the Army and the National Guard as well that are around. They're gonna be like, okay, there's crime hotspots. We're gonna basically go in there, have the troops clean it up, gather these people, gather the information, run it through the AI, and then establish systems so that no one can commit crime ever again. But then it's a system of control, man. What was it? In punishment file. So it says, down at the bottom, it says, in other field-related news, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. named his top deputy, Jim O'Neill, to become acting director of the CDC. O'Neill would replace the newly ousted Susan Monarez, who is also contesting her firing. He is called Phil his patron and served as CEO of the Phil Foundation. He also co-founded the Phil Fellowship, which gives $200,000 to college students if they drop out and seek other endeavors. The CDC, along with the FHFA, is all but sure to make big use of Palantir. So yeah, so you have these different sections of government as well, further developing, where they're just going to slot the AI in and then have it work with it. Because this is the thing, is what they're building is a greater system than just, okay, we're just going to clean up this, clean up that. You have other countries, like you have China as an example to go to, where they've already centralized a lot of those things. It's like as far as payments, social media, use of the internet, use of transport, they've already created a system where these things are all interlinked. But then, for the States, that's something they still need to do. They're still working on and developing. But then what does that mean? That means that as far as what you call it, you're going to see these things develop, and they're developing for what? The end goal of having the elite have that system set up, man. That system set up they can use. So I read this, Ezekiel 28:2. It says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as a heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, and there is no secret that they can hide from thee. And these are the things, he's envious, he's desirous of the blessing he knows Jake's gonna get. He wants that blessing back, and he wants to basically establish himself as a Most High. He wants to have himself as the ultimate power on earth everyone has to go to. So because of these things, that's why he's establishing these systems. He's like, okay, well, what the Most High is doing, with the angels or the Holy Spirit, with this, with that, I'm gonna have it through, AI technology, through certain things, to where then you're not, you're not gonna be able to be outside of that system. And like I said, he's wiser than Daniel. He's basically got that wisdom, got that technology, got those capabilities to do these things. He says, what, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasure. So yeah, he's got wealth, he's got gold, he's got treasures. Because why? It's that's been given unto him. Now's the time for him to run with those things. But then the other side of it is what? By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Most High power, because thou hast set thine heart as a heart of God. Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. So yeah, because you've got that blessing, you've been juiced up with those capabilities, then what? You've been able to achieve certain things, but the reality of it is there's a limit on it, and because those things have been granted, then they can be taken away. And that's a thing that that's a big thing in the world. People don't like dealing with, don't like addressing, don't like having that reality presented to them at all. Because why? The real is part of the extension of Esau's worldview, man. This so-called free will, so-called, define your own destiny. Those are things that the elite are trying to do. But then the joke of it and how they're trying to do it is they want to control everyone else. So it's the vanity of it comes out in the end. And then as well, it's like he's still on strings, man. He's still doing it, playing his role. His job was to be the wicked. And, he's fulfilling that role perfectly. It says what? And they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. What thou say before him that slayeth thee, I am God. But thou shalt be a man and no good in the hand of him that slayeth thee. And yeah, that's the reality. The truth's gonna come out when you come to enact it. Because with fulfilling these, this role, an aspect of it is what? He's gonna be, it's gonna be near complete. It's when he's about to fill his belly. It's as these things are about to become complete and perfected. That's when he's gonna get taken out of the way. So that's why you have these AI technologies, being pushed. You have these new systems being established, and it's been quick. It's not even been a year he's been in, and he's over like Trump's. Compared to even what the first time was like, this one's a complete madness. This one's completely been pushed. You got the mark there, invisible. World War III on the cusp. As far as the situation with Russia, Ukraine, and then Israel, Palestine, these things are right there. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom.